Hey guys, Booligan here with Booligan Shooting Sports. Today, we're taking a look at perhaps the best gun for both boomers and millennials alike. This is the AMT Hardballer. In particular, this is the government variant of the AMT Hardballer line. It isn't the long slide hardballer you might know from Terminator, and it's not the one with the adjustable sights that you may know from certain video games. But this is the little bit simplified version of this all stainless 1911. I picked this guy up a couple of weeks ago. Namely because I didn't have a proper 1911 pistol, and as I am rapidly becoming an old, my inner FUD kind of demanded that I get one of these. But I didn't want to get just any one. I also had to, play the game a little bit to appeal to the millennial and the Zoomer crowd. And had to get one that you might recognize from movies and video games. The younger crowd here may recognize this as the Silverballer from the Hitman series of video games. And that's really kind of what I don't even want to call it a build because all I did was slap some grips on this. But what my build entailed. So a little bit about AMT and the Hardballer line of pistols. So these were designed and released in the mid to late 70s, like 1977. This government model was released in 1978 and they originally were designed for sports shooters. That's why they had, that kind of little sight top rib and adjustable sights. But they wanted to get into that lucrative police market as well. So they designed sort of a simplified version with a government profile fixed sights. I mean, they're drift adjustable, but fixed sights, but still in that 5-inch length. They also released the 7-inch barreled long slide, which you may know from Terminator, and they released a couple of other wacky models, a 7-inch barreled 400 Corbon chambered one. They had one called the Javelina that was chambered in 10 millimeter. They did a lot of interesting things. But realistically, these were the first all stainless steel 1911s that existed, that were made. Now, being early pioneers of that process, they did have some problems. If you didn't keep the slide to frame interface really well greased, not even like lubricated, you really wanted to keep it greased, you could have galling between the metal. And that's something, if you're ever in the market, if you're ever looking for one of these, that's something that you're going to want to keep an eye on, is just to make sure that the slide operates smoothly, that it doesn't drag anywhere, and that you don't have any galling. This normally utilizes a 7-round magazine, but I've got it with an 8-round Wilson Combat that is empty, and a couple of other magazines that I'll test out with it. But it's super, super cool. It's just a great looking gun. This one is about as old as I am, from the mid 1980s. The lockup on it is still very tight, and it does have, obviously some wear marks on it. The bead blasted stainless frame does, tend to show scratches. The top normally would be a little bit more consistent in its bead blasting. And then the sides are a brushed finish. They sand them out. And the marking stainless made in USA, AMT, Covina, California, and then government model caliber 45. These were originally introduced as the combat government model, but they dropped the combat moniker pretty early on. I think the combat government only lasted a few years. It is not ambidextrous at all. Your safety is located on the left. Your slide release, of course, is located on the left as well. And both of these are extended controls, which makes them very easily manipulated. You also have an extended beaver tail, and everyone knows I love a good beaver tail on my pistols. And it has just a little bit of an extended guy there, just enough to make sure that you can properly actuate it, and also to prevent any sort of slide bite. The grips that I have on this, the grips that it came with, were just some super basic black wraparound. They weren't the original AMT branded ones. The originals came with black wraparound grips that had AMT markings on it. Mine did not. I don't believe they were the original grips. And of course, I had to go with the Hitman look, that Silverballer look, and got some Packmare hybrid grips, which have this beautiful rosewood base with the rubber wraparound and the Packmare medallion. These are a little bit chunky, but that's not a big deal for me because I've got big old bear paws here, and it fits super, super well. It is a very, very comfortable gun to to manipulate and to shoot. We'll do some range video with this. I do not have any shortage of 45 ammo. A friend for Christmas sent me a case of 45 when previously the only 45 I had was my Der Lyle integrally suppressed bolt action 45 Mauser. This will help me go through that case of ammo a little bit more. And we'll, get some range video with both. We'll have a 45 day, boomer at the range. But yeah, overall, I just kind of, wanted to get this because I love the history of AMT. I love the look of the early all stainless models. And this is just kind of perfect. These aren't exactly known for being very good 1911s. They're called the Hardballer because they only are designed to feed ball ammunition. I'll try to run some self-defense rounds through it. I'm not anticipating that to be a successful endeavor. These really just aren't designed to run self-defense rounds through them. It's in the name. So you can get the barrel throated to allow that. And some of these report feeding fine, some of them don't. I don't know, but that's why we'll test it to see what it does. But I got a couple mags to test out in it. And of course, I had to get... Well, the AMT in particular was never really featured in Miami Vice. There's something about a 1980s vintage stainless 1911 that just screams out Miami Vice to me. So I got I'm not wearing it currently, but I did get a Galco Miami Classic, literally the model that, the current version of what you would use in Miami Vice. And we're going to put together a Miami Vice range day. I have a couple of other guns that'll be very good options for that. So we'll have a Miami Vice range day once my range isn't buried in a foot of snow. But yeah, so that's just a quick tour on my AMT Hardballer government model. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like seeing how good this thing looks. It's got honest wear on it. It's got a couple scratches and a little bit of wear, but that's honest wear. Like, this is a gun that definitely has been shot, but still locks up very tight, still feels good to manipulate the slide, still has just a fantastic trigger pull. I mean, 1911 trigger pulls are kind of what you measure all other trigger pulls against. And this one is very good. It has an adjustable trigger as well. So I can play around with this and really get it tuned up for how I like it. So many thanks to you guys for watching. You'll see more content on this and a couple of other interesting guns when I get out to the range. And as always, thanks for watching.